Hello, my Math 3 scholars. In today's video, we're going to learn how to subtract rational expressions. Now, we previously learned how to add, and I didn't give you steps for adding, but I thought that I would stick these in because I have had some questions about the adding rational expressions. So I'm going to add these in for you, and hopefully this will help clear up anything. And this will go for, you'll notice I put steps for subtracting/adding rational expressions. So first, you're going to find the common denominator. So we're going to find the common denominator. We did that when we did addition as well. Then you're going to convert each fraction to the common denominator. And sometimes that may require you to multiply. And we did that when we added. Then you're going to subtract or add your numerators. In today's lesson, we'll be subtracting most of the time. So you're going to subtract or add your numerators. Then you keep the common denominator as the denominator in your answer. So whatever you get your common denominator to be, that's going to be your answer denominator as well. And then you're going to state your restrictions using whatever that common denominator is, what would make it equal to 0. Okay, so let's look at these steps and let's try to come up with first of all, the common denominator for this example 1 here. Okay, so for example 1, you'll notice we have an r plus 1 and we also have a 5. So that means we have to do both the 5 and the r plus 1 as our, I'm just going to say CD, common denominator. Okay, now then you look and see what is this one missing of the 5 times r plus 1. Well, it's missing the 5. So we're going to have to multiply by 5 on that one. And then you look over here at this one and you say, okay, what's this one missing of this common denominator? Well, it only has the 5, so it's missing the r plus 1. So we have to multiply both the top and the bottom by what's missing in the common denominator down here, okay? So whatever you do the bottom, you have to do the top. So make sure you do that on both of them. Okay, now, 5 times 3, that's 15. And then we write down our common denominator, 5 times r plus 1. And I'm going to leave it in factored form. It's fine that way. Okay, and then we've got a minus. Now, you've got to be careful here. So this minus, now we're going to distribute. 4 times r is 4r. And 4 times 1, that's 4. Over, we still have our common denominator, 5 times r plus 1. Okay, now when you subtract here, you're going to have to be careful. So 15 minus 4r, 15 minus 4r. Now instead of plus 4, there's a minus out here, so that's going to be a minus 4. And it's over your common denominator. Now here we can put together 15 minus 4. Those are like terms. So 15 minus 4, that's going to be 11. And then we've still got minus 4r, and it's over our common denominator, 5 times r plus 1. Okay, the last thing we do is list our restrictions. So r cannot equal, you go back to your common denominator, and the only one that has a variable is this r plus 1. So that means your r cannot equal negative 1 because negative 1 plus 1 would be 0. So r cannot equal negative 1. So all of this would be your final answer. Okay, let's look at another one. 5x over x minus 3 over x minus 6. Now I'm going to come up here to come up with my common denominator. I see an x minus 3 and an x minus 6. So this is my common denominator. Now I look down here and I see what's missing in this one of my common denominator. Well, I have the x minus 3, but I don't have the x minus 6. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by x minus 6. And then for this side, we have an x minus 6. So what is missing of our common denominator? That's the x minus 3. So we're going to multiply top and bottom by x minus 3. Okay, now on top here, that means 5x times x, which is 5x squared. And then negative 6 times 5x would be a negative 30x. And it's all over your common denominator. x minus 6 times x minus 3. Okay, now there's our minus. Okay, now we got to distribute that 3 to both the x and the negative 3 here. So that's going to be 3x minus 9 over our common denominator, x minus 6, x minus 3. Okay, now we're going to write all of this together in our numerator. 5x squared minus 30x minus 3x. Now careful again, minus a negative, that's going to make that a plus 9. And it's all over your common denominator. X minus 6 times x minus 3. Okay, now we see what we can put together. Okay, there's only one x squared and it's 5x squared, so that's going to stay like that. But then we have a negative 30x minus 3x, so that's going to be a negative 33x. Then our plus 9, and it's over x minus 6 times x minus 3. Okay, once you have it simplified, then you list your restrictions. So we go back to our common denominator to get our restrictions. What would make x minus 3 equal to 0? That would be if x is 3. What would make x minus 6 equal to 0? That would be if x is 6. So our x cannot be equal to 3 or 6. And this would be your answer. All right, we'll do some more examples, but let me know if you have any questions from this video.